this guy. Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it.
And will this be enough? My God, Hogan takes it. 1, 2. It's like,
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. I'm Josh Mabry, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
Not doing too bad at all.
It's great to hear. Always a pleasure. And just to kind of kick off here, it's officially was announced today, even though it's basically been the best unkept secret, is SummerSlam. Starting next year, we'll be moving to 2 nights. And for the foreseeable future. Now, I think this is the only time they'll do it, but who knows? If this draws and then other pay-per-views, we might get stuff like that. You know, we're kind of back and forth about it. I think it's a good idea because it's basically the summer WrestleMania, and I think that's what they're kind of pushing towards. So I'm okay with it. I just don't want them to, one thing and then okay, we need another thing, and then the next thing you know, they're overbooking everything as far as just too much, too many nights and all that. But they do really well with like the experience and stuff of that nature. But the more tickets you can sell, as long as you're putting on a good show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this was speculated because, they announced that SummerSlam 2 years from now was going to 2 nights, and so people are like wondering, like, okay, SummerSlam next year going to be 2 nights as well? When is it officially going to kick off? Well, they finally confirmed it that starting with next year's SummerSlam, which will be in Jersey at MetLife Stadium, that it will be going to 2 nights like WrestleMania. So, I mean, this isn't shocking because, it's like, it's like I forget where they're being in 2 years. It was already like announced like a while ago that they revealed that it was going to 2 nights. I have to look it up, but so. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with this as long as it, things stay well, and things are booked well. You got enough talent. It's worked for WrestleMania, and if the way they treat SummerSlam, like basically like the number 2 show of the year, pretty much. I mean, people debate whether or not like Rumble is like number 2 or SummerSlam is number 2. It feels like they lean more towards SummerSlam as being like the WrestleMania of the summer. The other like big, really big show of the big ones. So I am okay with it as long as they got enough talent to make good matches for both nights,
Yeah, and that's the thing is if I think they will, and that's why I said I'm okay with it. Just because of how they had to switch to WrestleMania. I mean, it was just like, 7 hours or whatever, and everyone was just dead by the end of it. So you have to, and you can sell it as well. They wouldn't do it if they couldn't sell it. So they did well there. So I'm okay with it. Do you see any other I don't see any other, and I know a scuttlebutt about whether or not they're going to do it with any other pay-per-views. Or PLEs, or what you want to call it.
I don't think so. I think they should I'm fine with it just being like Rumble going to 2 nights. That's where I'm like,
yeah.
None of the other pay-per-views need to be 2 nights. It's like Survivor Series or Rumble don't need to be 2 nights.
No, because Rumble, you already have pretty much all of your superstars.
Right.
In 2
you have
matches.
The 2 Rumble matches. You can do the 2 Rumble matches on one show. It's like it's been fine. So there's no need to expand it. I think that's what people worried at. It's like, it's like expanding SummerSlam. I get why they're doing it. Makes sense because they treat it like it's like the second WrestleMania of the year, for the summertime. So
right. So yeah,
it's all about making money. It's all about making money.
If it doesn't make money, then they're not going to do it. So moving on, obviously the big thing that's been talked about this week, the reason we're really not going into it is because me and Justin haven't seen it yet. But that is the docu-series on Netflix that just dropped this week about Vince McMahon. And even not watching it, but Vince coming out with that statement saying that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. and then seeing other people that's never really doesn't know the casuals of like figuring out that, hey, yeah, Vince did some pretty effed up stuff. We're like, yeah, we've known that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still interested to see it. I guess the one little thing that I saw where that for some reason was in the doc was a bunch of like back in the 90s, you saw like Goldust and Triple H, like, and then Bret Hart and Scott Hall were like watching Goldust and Triple H like play some arcade game, and Undertaker's just sitting there in his black makeup, and then he just looks at the camera and just rolls his eyes. I'm like, oh, he just always hated video games. He always thought they were stupid. So, because I remember he always get on like the new locker room, they're always playing video games. So
Yeah.
that was one of his criticisms. So I thought that was kind of crazy there. But yeah, it's just seeing all the people, and then some people are like, well, I don't think they really went in on Vince enough, and I'm like, which one is it? Like, just open up, just Google. I mean, it's pretty much what you got to do. But what you've seen online or anything like that you want to kind of touch on since the release?
No, not really. I mean, I don't want to give my thoughts. I mean, I've just started seeing blurbs here and there about like his thoughts about, like, he doesn't. It's like he thinks Benoit just like went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The one that people I saw going like WTF over was he didn't think that Undertaker got concussed against his match at Brock when he lost the streak. Yes, he did. It's very clear he got concussed.
He said that he got himself worked up because he's losing the streak. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Undertaker's not that. He always is into, if it's good business, he's gonna do it.
And other weird stuff that's just like okay, whatever.
Stone Cold saying that he didn't think CT is a thing.
That really bothers me. I'm like, what are you talking about, Steve?
Right.
It's like CTE exists. It's like let's not go there.
Right.
I don't understand people sometimes. But yeah, no, people are talking about it. Just more about like, it sounds like it's pretty. It sounds like it's pretty fair. Because he's talking about stuff. People are like, well, it's insane stuff that people are going like, what? Wait, what?
Right.
It's like I've been debating whether or not I want to watch it. It's like I'll probably check it out eventually just to form my own opinion. But yeah, it's quite the talk.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what was it? Bret Hart was the best punch ever threw.
Yep.
But he said that multiple times. There's been multiple interviews where he says that's the best punch he's ever thrown.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing is that Triple H finally admitted that he was involved. He was in on the screw job at Montreal. But Vince and Sean told him not to say anything that let them take more of the heat for it. That's not too shocking of a revelation. It's like people have been speculating that for a while that he knew. So that's not a big deal. And plus, it's like Brett's over all that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he still had a problem with Triple H, he wouldn't have showed up on Raw recently.
No. Hugging out and just he was happy to see Triple H because that was one of his guys from that era. Right.
It's like it's like if he patched things up with Sean and forgave him about his role in the screw job, then he's done the same thing with Triple H. It's like
if Triple H and CM Punk could get
along, forgave Vince. He
right.
let all the Montreal stuff go. He even forgave Vince, which is what people still don't believe.
Right.
I was in shock that he did that. I was okay. I was okay with him about Sean and Triple H. Because that wasn't their. They didn't make the final decision. Yeah, it's like they knew, but it's just like it was more about that was Vince had the final say. So it's like. That's where everyone was still like I can't say it was
right.
So, but hey, sometimes money talks.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so, kind of moving on, all the contracts. It's just kind of when it's a slow news day, we're just going to talk about contracts. So Aleister Black's contract is coming up in 2025. Miro asked for his release from AEW. That's not a big surprise. Soraya did re-sign with AEW. The Lucha Bros, Kevin Owens is yet to re-sign. People are saying that Tony is really pushing hard. Obviously, he does have a relationship with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks and all of them. But it's going to be hard for them, really, for Kevin Owens and what he's got going, unless he just feels like he just wants to have new scenery. I mean, you have some like Ricochet. It's like, what do you think is going to be different with that? And then the Lucha Bros, we said they were signed. Then it comes out that they're technically still under contract. It's just waiting for it to, but it's inevitable, basically.
Yeah, it's
that.
basically they're leaving. I mean, it's pretty clear they haven't been on TV for quite some time, so it's pretty clear leaving. Now, Daniel Garcia, he can still go either way from what people are saying. He has not made a final decision. His contract, he's still under contract, but he has not signed a new deal yet, which is why he has not been on TV yet. If he resigns, if he shows back up on TV, he's definitely resigned.
Yeah. With that, so
where does AJ's contract's coming up soon as well? AJ Styles' contract.
That's true. It is. He's got maybe like 2-3.
Yeah, I mean, and Jordan Grace said that her contract is up with TNA in January, so it's like it's
going to be interesting with Scott D'Amore coming up around that time too. If they're going to be able to work something out to where he can book for help with AEW and also book his MLW.
I mean, he's launching the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting with that.
That's a 2-night event. I'm actually thinking of checking that out. It's like for both nights, I think it's like only like $20 to $30 or something. So it's like they got a lot of big stars lined up. Mauro Ranallo is going to be at the announced desk. That's a big plus. So I may end up checking that out.
Dude, Joe Tessitore might be gaining on Marlo with what he's doing. I mean, he's not. Man, talk about he's fit into WWE like a freaking glove. That final call there with the Jay Uso was really, really good. So and everyone's really like just
everyone. I've not seen any like major negativity about Joe Tessitore's work so far in Raw. I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. There's really not a whole lot of news, guys. I wish. Do you think Kevin Owens is just they're just figuring out the details?
I think Kevin Owens will resign. There's no reason. It's understandable. That people are wondering, like, well, yes, he's friends with the Young Bucks, and he's also very close with Adam Cole, baby. So, it's understandable. People think, well, there's a possibility he might jump ship. He could have left years ago, but he chose to resign. When he resigned, Vince was still in charge.
Mm-hmm.
He could have jumped ship back then, and people would absolutely understand because Vince was still in control at the time. But no, he chose to resign, and then things happen, and he's been at the top of like a lot of major angles and feuds in that time. It's like he got that great tag team title run last year with Sammy, which was great. They had a great moment at WrestleMania in the main event last year. So if he didn't jump ship to AEW when Vince was in charge, do you really think he's going to jump ship with Triple H in charge? No. Unless it's like.
And he's one of Triple H's boys. Like Triple H was a big proponent on putting the title on him at that time.
Yeah, when he was Universal Champion.
Yeah. So I
think he'll probably stay. I mean, sure. I mean, but right now, like, even if he goes there, where would he fit in? It's like things are, and it's like, I mean, they already got more ex-WWE people coming in because we'll talk about someone showing up on Dynamite.
Yeah, I didn't know since we're talking about contract talks, you just want to kind of go into it. But I mean, we can kind of go into it. Just save it for the Dynamite recap. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like you said, like I mean, Ricochet, he goes there, he's having great matches, but still nothing really that he's doing differently.
Yeah. Right.
So maybe they just let him flip a little bit more. Like I don't get it.
Unless he feels completely unhappy at WWE, but I don't see that. It's like it's like he is not sounding like it's like he's at that at all. So it's like I highly doubt he'll leave.
Yeah. So with that, yeah. So yeah, let's go on to SmackDown.
Yep. Okay, here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. The show opened with the footage of Bloodline being checked as they arrived at the arena, and Jake had to beat up some security dudes. And then we went to our opening match, United States title match, LA Knight defending against Andrade. Good match between these two, but LA Knight hit Andrade with the BFT for the win. He retained. Carmelo Hayes was mocking Andrade over losing, and they got into a brawl again in the back afterwards. Showed a pre-taped segment of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns meeting on the Georgia Tech College football stadium. Roman Reigns graduated from there, and Cody is, of course, from his hometown. Talked about what the stadium and the city meant to each other, blah, 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 blah. Roman says the blood is taken every way from him, and now he's got nothing left to lose. Cody warned him that this would happen before WrestleMania. If Reigns can't beat the bloodline, who is he? Cody asked Roman's word that he'll have his back at blood so they can defeat the bloodline. Roman gave his word, but told him that once this is over, he's coming after him in the title again. Then we had Apollo Crews through Giovanni Vinci again. And even though it wasn't as quick last time, Giovanni lost again to Apollo Crews in just under 2 minutes. Don't know where that's going. Well, anyway, Kevin Owens was asked in the back about his reaction to the Cody and Roman summit. Said he talked about the ring. He went out to the ring to talk about it, but it was interrupted. Bloodline. Tim Duncan threatened violence. They attacked him, but DIY came out to make the save, and Nick Aldis booked a 6-man tag of Kevin Owens and DIY against the Bloodline for later in the evening. Then we got to the tag team match, Bayley and Naomi taking on Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. Texas Tornado rules. If either Bayley or Naomi got the pin, they would get a title shot against Nia Jax at Bad Blood. But if one of them got pinned, they were gone from SmackDown for good. Good stuff here. In the end, Bayley and Naomi did a double pin on Nia Jax after a screw up between her and Stratton. And Nick Aldis decided to, instead of doing a triple threat, it was Bayley and Naomi next week. Whoever wins faces Nia Jax at the pay-per-view. They showed a segment of Chelsea Green practicing for her dumpster match against Michin by clearing out a dumpster. Funny stuff. Then the main event, Kevin Owens and DIY against Bloodline. Well, DIY was taken out by the blood in the back. It looked like KO was screwed, but the Street Profits stepped in to make the save and took DIY's place. But it didn't matter. The Bloodline ended up winning the match by disqualification. And, well, they lost the match by disqualification. And there's a big brawl afterwards. DIY went out to help, and Bloodline was still standing tall, but Cody finally came out with a steel chair to help clear the ring. They made it look like KO was thinking of hitting Cody in the back with the chair, but he dropped it, went over, and gave Cody a big hug, and they stood tall to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this past Friday's episode of SmackDown. Okay. Josh had to step away for a second. He'll be back in a moment. So I'll just give some of my thoughts about what happened on SmackDown. Really enjoyed the Andrade LA Knight match. Thought that was really well done. It's great stuff from Andrade. Looked really good. And also nice to see that this feud with Carmelo Hayes is not over with yet. I am all for that. Give him some more matches. Let him continue to cook. The result to the Bayley and Naomi versus Tiffany and Jax match was very interesting. I thought that they were going to do like the usual, okay, they do the double pin, and then we'll have a triple threat. And we got the double pin, but apparently we're not getting the triple threat because all this is like, okay, I'm just going to have you two fight it out next week, and whoever wins will get Nia Jax at Bad Blood. So, partially was right on that, thinking where that was going, but I like that they're doing something a little bit different than the usual what you would expect. So, props to that. So let's see. I love the Chelsea Green vignette with her in the dumpster. Chelsea Green is really good at the comedy. Stuff that would be like hokey under maybe most other people, but she makes it work. She makes it funny. Like her reactions to going through the dumpster, and it's like, yes, it seems silly, but it fits with her character that she would do something like that. So I really like that. Let's see. Let's get to the big thing with the very cinematic meeting between Cody and Roman in the Georgia Tech football field. This really surprised me on how slickly produced this was. The whole thing was like a big home run because the way this was filmed, like at night, that was a nice touch. And everything that Cody and Roman said made sense. It's like it didn't feel like they were talking out of character, that sort of thing. Like I loved Roman talking about how like he, like this is like personal for him. It's like they took Jimmy, they took out the wise man. It's like they took the old follow for me. It's like he's like had enough of this stuff. So, and also liked how he talked about how like what Georgia Tech and the city meant to him, and Cody's like, yes, it means something to me too because I was born here. So it was nice back and forth, and boiled down to basically Cody going okay, can I trust you? Will you give me your word you got my back so we can try to win this match? And Roman said yes, but just so you understand, once this is over, I'm coming for you because I want the title back. Which made perfect sense. You would expect Roman to say that. So that whole deal was completely well done. So he is back. Hello.
Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, thank you, Justin, for going on there.
I just gave my thoughts about Andrade LA Knight title match, and then the stuff between Andrade Carmelo is not over. The Chelsea Green vignette, the result to Nia Jax, and match there, and also my thoughts on the whole powwow between Cody and Roman at Georgia Tech Stadium. So I kind of covered like the bit parts. The only thing I didn't get to was like the main event. So let's switch over to you and give your thoughts about some of that stuff in any way you go.
The Cody Roman stuff, I think I've watched at least 10 times. That just the way it was shot, the way it was presented, it was just really, really good. Hey, Giff. Always nice to see you. I mean, I thought it was great. Apparently, Jeremy Borash was the one that directed it. Paul Heyman
I heard he was in
charge. Yeah, and obviously Paul Heyman's going to be involved with coaching the talent. If Roman's involved, Paul Heyman's involved. But just to see that's like, it's like, is this a heel promo by Cody? It's like, no, it's just a promo between two guys who are wanting to be the alpha of the company.
Yeah.
So that's what it came across. Plus, Cody is top 5 in merchandise sales on Fanatics. So that's just any person that they sell on Fanatics, not just wrestling. And you're going to turn him heel? No, like, you just don't do that.
No,
not when he's still
one of the most over baby faces in the company.
Right. So you're not going to do that. But the way it was shot and how it was with Georgia Tech, and I like how they're finally leaning into like wrestlers past.
Yes.
In that regard. This is the next thing of just really, but I still liked where he was just like, "This is my home."
Yeah.
You were just here for a little bit, and then you went back to the beach. Like,
right.
I really like that. I liked they called back to I told you 2 years ago that you would be standing here saying the exact thing, that you're a chief without a tribe. And then also him saying that he
Yeah, Cody was right because he said you'd lose everything. He goes,
Right.
eventually you lose everything. You won't have you'll be chief without a tribe. That's exactly where he's at right now. He still considers himself the tribal chief, but he's not in control of the bloodline anymore.
No. And my favorite line was, and maybe I'm just the only one that really felt that impact and what they were trying to do, was when he was saying like, I have nothing to lose, and he said the only thing left to lose is the guy they used to call Roman Reigns. And I was like, and then Roman was like, what do you want? He was like, shit. Because that touched a nerve, because he realized that it finally hit him that he is not on top anymore. Cody's the one that's on top. Solo has the Ulafal in the bloodline.
Yeah,
Jay's doing his own thing. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anyone left. The only thing he has is himself. And if he goes down, then he's done.
Yeah.
He's hanging on by a thread, basically, with his, where Roman used to be.
And it's like you can tell that they don't want to have to work together, but it's like, if we don't, it's like things are not going to get any better. If we do work together, maybe we can nip this whole problem in the bud now. And then, like Roman said, he goes, I love that quote Roman said, like, I'll give you my word, I got your back. But once this is over, I'm coming to get the title back from you.
Right. He said that since he returned and helped Cody. Because when Cody looked at him, he said, and you heard him mouth it during SummerSlam. He was just, or what was it, SummerSlam? I forget which one it was.
It's SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam. He's like, and he looked at Cody. He goes, "I'm gonna get back what's mine." And he said that during after the match, and then he reiterated it.
Yeah, because Roman's acting like, this is my, and like it's like Cody's like, no, this is not your WWE arena anymore. It was.
Right.
It's like, I beat you. You're not the top dog anymore. I am. It's like, you got to deal with that.
Yeah. And he's and then him stepping in front of him. And this is the only thing that I would say, but I think it still worked. But when he said, when Cody was saying, it's not yours to take, meaning like you've got to earn that spot back.
Yep.
And I'd like that. And then he just like, you're in my way. And he should have just ended it there, because that line resonated more. And then he added in life. He's saying like, he didn't have to double down like, you're in my way in life. Or like, we know that's what that first line would kind of insinuate. Again, that's like super nitpicky. Like, but they still both landed, but just you're in my way.
That whole segment was a home run. Like, that's what I said.
Huge home run. And 7 cars, subtle.
Yeah, subtle.
So yes, and then just that shot of those two, and it's just like, Rock, Stone Cold. You just get that feel that I haven't felt in a while between.
And plus, them doing this adds so much. It's like adds so much storyline intrigue, especially like the Rock, because like it's like this perfectly sets up Rock turning on Roman, which to build toward Roman Rock showdown. It's like you teamed up with Cody Rhodes of all people against your own family. Yeah. Against your blood. It's like that guy. Mm-hmm. It's like it's and plus this could lead to KO or Randy Orton turning heel on Cody because
and that was such good production.
I don't think it's
literally going right to
I think
Kevin Owens.
Harry. I think it's gonna be. I think I'm still on that Orton's gonna turn on it.
It might be.
In the future.
LA Knight and Andrade was great. I mean, I figured Knight was going to win. I mean, they got him a little bit there.
But Andrade got to look great.
Your boy Giovanni, man.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that either. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. He's not my boy, but it's like I'm just like, why is he getting treated like this? What's the point?
Right.
I don't know. That's one of my, that's still a big what the fuck.
Right. I think Tama Tonga has the best mic work ever. Just coming and saying yeah the whole freaking time. Hey, I was right. it was going to be a double pin by Naomi and
Yeah, I was
Bayley.
saying the thing. I was expecting double pin, but I thought it was going to lead to a triple threat. But nope, it's like he's not going to do triple threat. Bayley and Naomi have to face off tomorrow night, and the winner faces Nia next Saturday at Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm. So,
unless they do a smash finish there, and then
they could do a smash finish that leads to triple threat.
It would be nice if they didn't do that. It's a little too
I would
crazy.
like for it to be straight up.
Yeah.
You know, that way it doesn't feel like it doesn't when Naomi it just makes it puts because I think Naomi's going to go over on Bayley because in have Naomi going over a Bayley means you're putting more weight to Naomi, which means that she's actually a threat. Like if she just would have pinned, let's just say Tiffany Stratton or whatever by herself, it still would not feel like she's a threat to Nia. But if Naomi goes over clean on Bayley, then that actually adds to Naomi being a threat. That's the only way that I could see it happening if they don't do the triple threat, which I think they'll end up doing anyway. Because it's just hard to not have that.
Main event was fine, very predictable. It's just like poor DIY get laid out again by the blood. Like God.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so ready for. And then
what'd you think of the Chelsea Green bit with the dumpster?
I love Chelsea Green, dude. She can do no wrong.
I love that. I thought that was hilarious.
She's so good.
Michael Cole was a little over enthusiastic about him and Michin having the dumpster match.
Right. Well, it's Michael Cole. Sometimes he gets way too into it.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just like some things like Pat brings something out of Michael that just makes him a little bit more entertaining. Yeah. Nothing against, help me out, Corey Graves. Nothing against Corey Graves, but I just think Pat brings something a little bit extra out of Michael in a good way. So, but no, overall, that vignette, which is so good.
Yeah. Pretty much better episode of SmackDown than the
than it has been for sure. Not as super predictable, but that because at first you're like, oh, Roman and Cody are gonna face off, and then we got that. I'm like, not your typical face off.
Mm-hmm.
That we got. So, all right, let's move on to Raw.
All right, here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. We saw footage of everyone arriving to the arena, and as Liv and Dominic walking in, Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed were once again brawling with each other in the back, destroying a merchandise table. Dominic living off the ring, and Rhea Ripley came out to rebut. There was some back and forth stuff here, but the base of it was that Ripley revealed that she had talked to Nichols and she got a stipulation added to their title match at Bad Blood, and that Dominic would be locked up in a shark cage to prevent him from interfering in the title match between Rhea and Liv, much to their dismay. Then we had Sami Zayn taking on Louis Kaiser one-on-one. Sami Zayn picked up the victory. After match, Gunther came down and teased facing Sami for the title, but once again said no in a fake out. As everyone's couple Kings were talking to the back and patching up with things, American Made came up, Chad Gable mocking them, and that led to the Xavier Woods challenging them to a tag title match, a tag team match. Liv Morgan and Dominic's protest to Adam Pearce about the stipulation for the title match fell on deaf ears. Ilya Dragunov once again ran into Judgment Day, and they warned him to stay out of their business. Dragon Lee then took on Carlito. Dragon Lee picked up the victory. Karen Cross was once again whispering evil thoughts into Mrs. Ear. Sheamus was interviewed and said him and Pete Dunne are not yet, and kept encouraging people to call him Butch. Braun Strowman wanted to take on The Miz, but once again, Braun Strowman and they got into another brawl that was all complete chaos with security getting beat up. Drew McIntyre came out, cut a promo, and responding to CM Punk's last week. Very similar, promising that he would destroy Punk and also make him suffer and bleed. His family doesn't want him to do the match either, but he's got to do it because he wants to end Punk permanently. Adam Pearce says he's had enough of the Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed nonsense, so he books them into a last monster standing match on next week's show. Then he heard a noise and found Pete Dunne once again attacking Sheamus and getting into a brawl. Then we had Unholy Union taking on Damage Control in the tag team match. Damage Control picked up the victory. Then New Day took on the Creed brothers, representing American Made. Thanks to a distraction on the outside, the Creed brothers are able to pick up the victory. And more as the New Day problems continue. Dave Priest got a promo on Finn Balor hyping their match for Bad Blood. Wyatt Six released another video. Pure Future Collective cut a promo saying that they're the future. Whatever. New Day and LWO were talking, and Xavier and Rey Mysterio got into it, and that led to him challenging Rey to a match next week. They did a cool hype video for Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed's match next week, make it look like a Godzilla vs. King Kong movie. I approve. And then finally, our main event, Intercontinental title match. Braun Breaker defending against Jey Uso. Great stuff here. And in a surprise move, after multiple spears and more than one Uso splash, Jey Uso was able to overcome the cocky Braun Breaker and defeated him to win the Intercontinental Championship, his first singles championship in his career. Congratulations to main event Jey Uso. Fans went nuts, and Jey went into the crowd to celebrate winning the title with the fans close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
All right, being the Godzilla mega fan that you are,
Yes.
that Godzilla,
You have no idea how much I love. It's like I was like, this is perfect.
I immediately was just like, Justin is marking out right now when they did the whole Last Monster Standing vignette, and they've literally turned into Godzilla, like right as they were facing off against each other. So I was like, that's definitely. I was like, Justin's marking out.
Yeah, no, that's
with that. How does Braun Strowman sneak up through a crowd?
Right. I don't know.
That was nuts. With that. But yeah, that's the first thing that kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah, she does.
She does have it.
Okay, now everyone for all the I saw people. Oh no! Why did they take the title off Braun? He's ruined. He's buried. What Giv said, this was the right move.
Mm-hmm. You bury Jey at this point if Braun beats him.
It would hurt Jey more if he lost this match than Braun hurting Braun. Braun will be fine. He's over. He's going to be a world champion in the near future. He's going to be fine. Jey is so over they couldn't keep having him lose like the big matches.
No,
he had to finally win something.
Yep.
You can't keep denying the fans who loved a guy this much him having a big moment, and this was his big moment. You could listen to I rewatched it. That pop is huge when he won the match.
Mm-hmm.
They went nuts.
Shout out Ontario, California.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a great crowd there, and yeah, the match was really good. Braun, yes, what Giff said, Braun does not need.
Braun can be fine without a title for a while. He'll probably win it back probably in the near future. Because who knows how long Jay's going to hold on to this. It's like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bloodline fucks him over in some way.
Yeah, something like that. But also, this puts more weight on if they do the Bloodline Civil War.
And they foreshadowed it because he's been so cocky and arrogant toward Jay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pattern. It's a character pattern they're having with him.
Yeah,
Remember
I didn't know
how
if that
he was overconfident and cocky with Sammy. He lost to Sammy at Money in the Bank? Or and then he got the rematch at SummerSlam, and he destroyed Sammy.
Right.
To win the title. He made the same mistake. He got cocky and arrogant at Jay, and it cost him. If he gets his rematch, look out.
Right.
It's like I like it because he's young, and it's like he's young, he's talented. It's like, but he's learning. His arrogance and cockiness are costing him at the wrong time, and that's something they can work with character wise. It gives him something, and he's already over anyway. It's like the people are dog barking, man. It's like Jay winning was the right call, even though Braun's first run with the title was short. Braun is going to be fine. He is not ruined. He is not buried. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, I mean, I just hope because Jay's there. I don't know. I mean, obviously his in-ring work is his in-ring work. I mean, it worked for John Cena for 15 years of basically having the same 7 moves, or the 5 moves of doom, as people always say. So I mean, it works out. It worked out for him, and that match was great. So, and this again, why I'm going to give another tip of the cap to Joe, because going into it, I was like, Jay's going to lose this, but he kept bringing up how long Jay has not had a singles title, and it really captivated and sold it more to the TV audience when he won it in that call. So those little things of why Joe Tessitore is working. Yeah,
and both Joe and Wade Barrett were pointing out the cockiness and arrogance that Braun was displaying during the match.
Yeah, and Wade is he is on another level right now. Wade is great.
Him and Joe Tessitore have great chemistry already. You know, it's like I'm glad that they're going to be sticking together after Cole and McAfee come back to Raw when it moves to Netflix.
Right.
Because them on SmackDown, it's going to be great.
Right.
And throwing Corey Graves, it's like because I think it's going to go. They're going to have Corey. They're going to move Wade and Joe to SmackDown with Corey, and then you got Cole and McAfee back on Raw.
Because Cole McAfee, they had this really cool chemistry of just like 2 bros just sitting there just trying to crack each other up, but it works. And then Wade is kind of like not just in the way him and Joe kind of go back and forth, is Wade basically teaching, in a sense, Joe and bringing him along of like, well, if you didn't know, you've got this, but it also is, giving information to the audience. So it's a good back and forth dynamic that they have compared to what you get with McAfee and Cole. So it's just a really cool, like, they're not just the same, boom, boom. They don't hit the same beats at saying the same things. They'll have some senile old man in their ears saying, just say this, damn it. So it just lets it work. And so you both have that. Yes, I'm with you. I don't really care for 3 men in wrestling. Just have, and with AEW, I think just have Taz and then figure it out with the other 2, with that, and then Braun does not need a title. We already know that. I was thinking the other one.
I normally do, but I think Corey, Wade, and Joe Tessitore could work as a 3-man. I think it would. I'm not a big fan of the 3 booth either. I prefer it be 2 people. AEW gets a little bit much, but I've gotten used to it. It's like 3 or even 4 is pretty typical for them. So it's like, but it's not my normal cup of tea either.
No, it's not. Another thing that snuck out to me, dude, I am just liking like how much can Gunther just tease Sammy saying no, and like every time he says no, it's kind. I just
I mean. I'm surprised they haven't had Nick. They had Adam Pearce step in and be like, hello, I'm the general manager. I can make the title match official, and I'm going to do that now. Right. I think we're getting to that point where it's just like, I think it's either that or Sammy's finally going to do something that gets under Gunther's skin enough that he finally gives him the title match at Bad Blood.
Yeah. Dude, this work that Xavier Woods is doing is some good shit.
This is the most interested I've been in the New Day for a long time. That's not against New Day, who I love those guys.
They were spinning their tires. They're really just doing the same beats.
They haven't really. It's hard. I hate to say it, but ever since Big E's been out with injury, it hasn't been safe.
He's going to. I don't know if you saw that. He's going to see a doctor within 3 to 6 months, and they're gonna.
He's got to see if that stuff is healed enough properly, because it's like if it. Otherwise, he'll never be able to get in the ring again.
No, and I mean, gotta watch.
But this thing, it could be setting up E coming in to play Peacemaker, which would be the right move.
Yeah, And I liked the whole whoever decided to set it
But
up with.
it may fail, and Woods may turn. It's like I would be okay with that. I know some people are like adverse to like you can't bring them to. It's like, look, at some point, all the good things come to an end. It's like, the fact that the New Day has lasted for a decade is impressive.
Yeah, was it 12 tag titles, 2 world champions? Like it's
King of the Ring winner and
King of the Ring winner. Yes. So
Yeah.
it's not like they've been pretty. If you look at their accolades compared to other three-man factions, it's
yeah.
I mean, obviously the Shield. If the Shield was together for 10 years, they probably would be a lot more accomplished. But you just couldn't. They couldn't afford to just have those three together the whole time. Just have them come back every once in a while. But I like the Kofi thing of like him bringing all like the trombones and stuff, and then the one guy at the end where he was like saying no when he brought in the pancakes and the unicorn.
Yeah,
and stuff
that was great.
So just a callback of Nick Woods being like, no, that we're past that. Like we've outgrown that. That's not what we're about anymore. Because he kind of basically said what the audience was saying.
Right.
Like we're still using the same stuff we did before. No,
you gotta evolve, man.
Yeah. So it was definitely like kind of a meta segment there.
Yeah, very.
That I really liked. What was the other thing I wanted?
Yeah, I mean the whole build to this Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman last Monster Study match has been fantastic, and that's gonna be fun to watch next week.
I want to know the draw wall order for this coming.
Oh yeah,
Raw.
Yeah. How much did they pay to put up that drywall before? So it's worth it.
Yeah. Hey, Dragon Lee won a match on
Yay!
the Yay! You did it.
Can I say that I absolutely love them pulling out the old manager locked inside a shark cage bit for Dom, especially his reaction like I don't want to go back.
I don't want to go back. Man. I don't want to go back.
Like him freaking out, like he's having prison flashbacks.
Yeah, I've never cared for it. That's just not my cup.
No, I never cared for the either. But this for this and this feud,
yeah.
Especially his reaction, I was like sold.
Yeah, once because I was like he's suspended and he was like I'm gonna put you behind bars again. He was like I can't go back. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, freaking out.
Yeah.
Because of this stipulation, Rhea's not winning this match.
No, this stip always has the same thing. Somehow or another, they get out of the cage.
They think that it's the babyface thinking, okay, the person who could screw me over to cost me a match is neutralized. It's like I'm fine. I see a lot of people speculating that this could lead to the return of Raquel Rodriguez doing a full heel turn and to help Liv win. I could see that happening if she's finally recovered well enough. She's been out for the last several months because of the can't remember what the condition she has.
It's a skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know the medical term.
Yeah, I forget what it is.
If anyone watches this on Rev Sports Wrap It Up, and if medical terms come up, I can't pronounce them either. So, Rev Sports Wrap It Up every Wednesday at 9 Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Join us there. But yeah, no, it could go that way. But yeah, I just don't see.
They can keep this going for a while. They don't need. It's like, and plus, if Rhea wins the title back now, who does she feud with?
Exactly.
They haven't got anybody lined up on the heel side outside of Liv that you can buy as a challenger for Rhea if she wins the title back.
Sarah Logan, because the War Raiders are coming back.
I'm not going to dig by that with an answer.
They did. A couple people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Plus a heel turn would be good for her. She was great as a heel back in NXT when her and Dakota Kai were like had the HBK Diesel thing going on.
Yeah, and plus Liv having an actual female.
Plus Raquel and Rhea have a lot of history. Raquel was the one who beat Rhea for the NXT Women's title before Rhea was called up to the main roster. So it's like they have history.
And plus Liv having a heater like Raquel would be a nice little twist on it.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with that if they do it.
And it'll be another obstacle for Rhea have to get through. It's like, okay, now to get to Liv, she's got to go through Raquel.
Yeah, it's a typical I don't see how she's getting out of this one. Then she figures it out.
Right.
And plus, I don't care about Riptide's amazing, but that headbutt,
Yeah.
that could be a finisher. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
When she nailed that. Yeah. Let me see.
When Pure Fusion Collective cut that promo, say that they were the future, I was just like, next.
Right.
Sorry. Don't buy it.
Yeah, Damage Control, they're great.
I kind of hoping Damage Control wins the tag titles.
Yeah, me too. I think it's about time we get a Jade versus Bianca feud.
I'm waiting for the split to happen. It's going to happen. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
It's just
what do you think about
whenever they decide to pull the trigger.
So what do you think so far about American Made?
They needed this win, and
especially
after what happened to the Wyatts, they need wins. So to build them back up because
it's showing the character. I don't know which Creed brother it is with that.
I'm wondering where the Wyatts are going to go next. That's where I'm wondering.
Well, if you notice, I think they might just straight up go after the Judgment Day.
They might,
because remember the Lily doll was behind Liv.
That would be perfect because that it's like because they need it's like, and plus they're really like they're like flexing their muscle, like they're like threatening Ilya and other people in the backstage area. So no, that would be very interesting. Judgment Day versus Wyatt 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really would be. I'm dark. No, I'm darker. Thank you.
Yeah.
One looks like Slipknot. The other one looks like vampires from Blade. So whichever's going to work out. But no, I'd like, and then Ivy with her. I like the way they colored her hair. That was really nice touch there. And then the one Creed brother with his laugh, or like the weird laugh that he does. Like, I'm just liking. You just need, because that's the thing with they're just people standing behind Chad. You need to bring to make better superstars. You need to have different personalities.
Yeah.
So,
Drew McIntyre's response to CM Punk, it was good. Yeah, it's like it's like pretty much everything they need to say has been said. So it's like, it still was
a great promo, but it's still kind of like Punk comes out and like that's the CM Punk promo we wanted. Drew comes out and basically says, "He said that, but I'm gonna say it in a Scottish accent." It's like Punk's like, "I'm gonna make you bleed. I'm gonna make you bleed more. I don't know if I'm coming back home. You're not. Thank you. Let's go to Bad Blood."
Right.
Larry was at the show. I don't know if you saw some videos.
Yeah, I heard
Larry
that. He had Larry
around the ring
backstage.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to talk about, Raw?
No, just that. I think that pretty much covers all of this important stuff.
One thing I also will say about Jay getting the title.
Yeah, I love you. I love you, Mr. Taylor.
JD bobblehead. There's been some TikToks of like they put a filter like someone like they did the Judgment Day and then they looked up and their head just got real big. It's like JD every entrance. But the one thing I will say about Jay winning, I think this is also adds to the Bloodline feud.
Yes.
With that, because Jay now, it's not that Jay has nothing else to do, so let's put him with the feud. Jay still has this, and it also puts more weight because it could be Roman doesn't have a title. Jimmy hopefully is healthy and he's coming back. Jimmy doesn't have anything. Jay's now gone off and made a name for himself while the other two are trying to make it to the mountaintop. So it makes that it hypens the layers that you could do with the storyline.
Absolutely.
So I think it was just a great move all around that he won that. Plus he's damn well earned it.
Yes, he has.
So let's move on to Dynamite. It's taking my way out to get to the point.
All right, here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite, Grand Slam edition from New York. JR was joined the commentary team for the opening match, which was a non-title match between Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness. Bryan didn't show up at first, so Nigel demanded that he be counted out and also be stripped the world title. But the final countdown played, and Bryan Danielson came out. Two had a fantastic match, and Bryan made Nigel tap out to the LaBelle lock to pick up the victory. Christian Cage teased coming out to cash in his title shot contract, but Kit Sabian snuck up and stole the pen to prevent him from doing the cash in. Then Hook took on Roderick Strong in an FTW title match. Hook picked up the victory. Surprisingly, the Kingdom and Strong showed respect to Hook after the match. Hook then talked to Tony Schiavone and announced that he was now officially decided to retire the FTW title, where it all began. He returned the belt to his father Taz at the comedy desk, and they hugged. A nice moment. Then we had the AEW World Tag Team titles on the line as Young Bucks defended against Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. Insane match, crazy near falls. Made me think for a second that Ospreay and Fletcher would actually win the titles. But then when things went spilled out the outside, Don Callis left commentary desk and gave Kyle Fletcher his trusty screwdriver to cheat to win. Ospreay stopped him from using it and told him that not to win that way, but that ended up costing the victory as the Young Bucks recovered. Knocked Ospreay silly and then hit a super kick party and EVP trigger on Kyle Fletcher to win the match and retain the tag team titles. The conglomeration said that Rocky Romero was now officially a member and cut a promo ahead of their match against the Learning Tree on Collision. Britson came out to talk to Tony Schiavone, giving an update on Swerve, saying that he's doing okay, but he's not clear to return yet. And then on a shocking surprise, confirming the rumors are true, MVP came out, officially joining AEW. He dissed Britson, saying that he didn't do a good job of preventing what happened to Swerve with him getting his house burned down, losing the Hangman. He told Prince to send a message to Swerve that if he wants to talk business with him, to give him a call, and he gave him his business card and left. Ooh, boy. Then we had AEW Women's World title as Mariah May defended against Yuka Sakazaki. Mariah May, of course, picked up the victory Storm Zero. She went to try to hurt her some more afterwards, but Willow Nightingale came out to make the save. But then Mina Shirakawa showed up, and that distraction allowed Mariah May to lay Willow out and go reunite with her best buddy, who is still a little confused. And then we had our main event, number one contender match for the world title on the line as Darby Allin took on Jon Moxley. Good stuff between these two, as you would probably expect. Darby Allin, of course, bled. Despite everything, Moxley was able to hit a death right off the top rope to put Darby down to pick up the victory. And now he has the title shot against Bryan Danielson at WrestleDream. Speaking of Bryan Danielson, he appeared into the ring and attacked Moxley as payback for what happened at the pay-per-view. Tried to choke him out with a necktie. But Marina Shafir, Claudio, and Pac came out to pull him off. They went to beat him down, but then Private Party Commander came out to help out as well and led to a big brawl. Danielson got on the mic and told Moxley that if he wanted war, well, he's got one now, as he officially declares war on him and the BCC, and that he's going to kick his fucking head in at WrestleDream in their title match, and stood tall to close out the show. So that all that happened on this week's Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite.
Just when I thought I was getting pissed at Tony again, was going to come on another here and be like, what are they doing with the women's division? Nothing is. And then Willow came out, and I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can breathe a little.
Okay. It's like, yes, put Willow into the women's world title picture. Thank you very much.
Yes. Because she's got to that point now. Because I remember when she first came in, I was like, it was a big deal, but when she's gone through the motions, then she had her and Chris Statlander, that, like I said, I can't talk enough about that hardcore match that they had, but that was their coming out party. But for the both of them, of getting to that, they're up there of really putting on solid matches. They already do solid work anyway. And so when Willow came out, I was like, yes, that's perfect for Mariah.
Yep. Yeah, I was really happy about that.
What was the first thing that stuck out to you other than the main event stuff?
The MVP showing up.
It says apparently Sean Ross Sapp said that when they zoomed in on the card, it said Syndicate on the card.
Yep, the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. That's what the rumor was, because they can't use Hurt Business
Nope.
because that's copyrighted by
Right.
WWE.
Yeah. So, and GIF was saying, can't wait for. Oh yeah, Swerve versus Shelton.
Yeah, as soon as MVP showed up, I'm like, well, that confirms the rumors. So Bobby Lashley and probably Shelton Benjamin are not far behind.
Who's the fourth man? It's Swerve. I don't. Swerve doesn't need that.
No, I don't think Swerve's going to join them. I think he's going to feud with them. I think he's going to make it look like he's going to join them, but then he'll reject them, and then they'll come after him.
Right.
Actually, putting Hobbs in there instead of Swerve would be more.
No, that's what you were saying, and I was saying that too. Is Hobbs would definitely be best because you have Shelton, Bobby, and then you've got Hobbs with MVP, and that's just really good stuff.
No, I love how he's like, if he wants to do business,
Right.
I see what you're doing there, MVP.
Yeah. This is exactly the little shot in the arm. As long as they let them cook, this is exactly.
Well, MVP can cook on the mic, so it's like.
Yeah. And then Willow, best baby face in the business.
Yeah,
she's up there for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, like overall or female.
I think he's talking like. Woman or face.
Yeah. So but yeah.
Yeah, Gift likes the name. Yeah, Hurt Syndicate has a cool name, has a cool ring to it.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So that immediately I was like, okay, Tony, you have my attention now. I liked how
Right.
that played out, especially with him dissing Prince Nana.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so that was great. Nigel versus Bryan Danielson delivered. Mm-hmm. I just felt that the build was complete bullshit.
It was,
it's like, as great as the match was, and I was happy Nigel got that moment, the build for it was complete bullshit because it made no fucking sense. It's like, if Bryan could have done that, was able to get medically cleared to do that match, why couldn't he have the title match with Darby?
Yeah. Again, just that overbooking but crap. And then too, I thought they broke old dude's hand from Private Party, and he's coming out just a week later.
Yeah, no. And also, if you want to give Danielson back up against the Black Bull Combat Club, don't use people who have been treated as jobbers for months.
Right.
And this is not a knock against Private Party or Commander. They're very talented wrestlers and they're very talented in the ring, but in the people's eyes, people don't give a fuck about them because they don't win. They job.
Yeah. Pour one out for the FTW title. You had a good run. Glad they were moving on from it.
This is also the second great decision Tony made on the show, was finally getting rid of the FTW title. It was about it's long overdue.
Yes.
Completely
and that way Hook can get away from the Jericho bullshit and be Hook.
Give him actual real singles gold.
Yes.
And I thought that was I really made me happy when I was like, yes, finally get rid of it.
I love the finish to the Bucks Ospreay Fletcher match.
Yes.
I love
that. Sets up great storyline stuff that's going to pay off later.
Yes.
And this has been building. It's like remember Callis wanted Ospreay to use the screwdriver before. He refused. He lost. He tries to get Kyle Fletcher to use the screwdriver to cheat to win. Ospreay stops him. They lose.
I can't do their United Kingdom or whatever they're calling it hand signal, but I think that's what they're heading towards.
This match was so good. For a moment there, I actually thought Ospreay and Fletcher would open the tag titles.
That Fletcher, like once Fletcher puts, and I think he's kind of already got it there, but that dude's got something. Now he's not Will Ospreay level, and the Bucks are the Bucks. But
some of those near falls, although the kicking out of finishers got it, once again, that gets very annoying. But
that's the style.
There's some great. Some of the near falls were just like, I was like, oh my god.
Right. Yeah, it was really good. Were you okay with Moxley going over Darby?
I was expecting it.
Okay.
I was expecting it. I was not shocked.
Okay.
When this happened, I was like, okay, this is about them trying to take over. So he's going to get the title shot from Darby, and he's going to try to take the title from Danielson.
Okay.
Whether he's going to succeed, I know, because he may survive. It's like Christian Cage is still lurking, keeps getting interrupted his title shot. I did think it was funny. Chris Sabian snuck up and stole the pen so he couldn't do the cash in.
Right. That was pretty funny. So do you think, have they referred to them as the Blackpool Combat Club on TV yet? Do you know?
Yeah, I think they're going to come up with a new name because they're not calling them the Bulletproof Combat Club. We're just calling them that because they don't have a new name yet.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm glad that they got just with the Danielson Moxley got the blood feud going with Danielson. I've always liked that, like this side of Danielson, of just the I am going to destroy you type thing that Danielson's doing. I really, really enjoyed that. I like that Shafir she's making her believable in her role that she's doing. And her role is perfect because she doesn't have to talk on the mic because she can't.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Claudio and Pac, I don't know. It just works. Whatever they're doing, it's working.
I'm interested to see where this is going.
Yeah, I definitely am. But overall, I mean, other than a couple little things here and there, but like we talked about, every show has a little bitty flaws. I mean, the tag match delivered, Moxley Darby delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Willow coming out at the end of
they have a couple of irons in the fire that have good story possibilities. So
it's gotten me again. What we always say, like right now, Tony just needs to know how to make me come back for more, and not just say this is a really cool match. No, I need stories to keep making me want to come back, because if I'm going to come back either way. Because I love wrestling and I love the in-ring work that they do. But if you want that casual fan to keep coming back, you need to keep the carrot in front of you need to dangle that carrot out at the end of every show to make them see what goes on. That's why soap operas work. I mean, this is, soap operas with men and women in tights. That's what it is. And we love it. So with that, but if you're not dangling that carrot at the end of it and you've gave us a full course meal, we're not going to come back for a while. It's expensive. That's the best analogy I can think of.
Do you have any negatives from this episode?
I mean, other than the fact that just the Mariah May match was just whatever, and that's just you should have a whatever match with your title.
They really need to get. That's why I was happy. I was really happy that Will came out, because like now she finally has a few that she can take. She's been fighting against people who have no heat.
Yeah, and you already said my negative too. It's just and they kind of acted like if Danielson's going to show up, and then like the crowd knew he was going to show up.
Yeah, of course the news going to show up.
Like, what are we doing here? He's gonna show up.
Right.
Now they put on a banger. And then Nigel saying, like, did he say thank you or something before he tapped out?
He said thank you before he tapped out.
Yeah, just to allow him to get that one, finally just getting back in the ring and doing his stuff. And I didn't realize, but like a lot of the British fans worship the ground that Nigel McGuinness walks on. Yeah. I did not know that, especially when he was so. I'm not familiar with Nigel McGuinness, because by the time he was Desmond Wolfe in TNA, that's when I first knew about him. So I wasn't familiar with him in ROH. And I also, by the time he got there, he was gone with as the Desmond Wolfe character. So and the next thing I know, I'm like, where was that Desmond Wolfe guy? And then I looked it up, and he was doing commentary on NXT for years. So it always threw me off there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for AEW. I mean, I'm liking where they're going. A couple of overbooking stuff that Tony does to overthink stuff just to get stuff happening in the show. Maybe to stack a card where if it doesn't make sense, you booked yourself into this situation.
Also, it's like, hopefully after this Surrey Rules match, Jamie Hayter gets moved into an actual program with someone that it's like, I get why they're doing it. It's because Surya was partially responsible for her being on the shelf. Storyline wise, she wants her revenge.
Right.
All right, have her beat Surya, have her move on to a legit feud.
Yeah.
It's like the question is, it's like Tony's got to find someone good, because I don't know if he's ready to throw, because obviously they set up Willow coming after Mariah May for the women's title. I don't want to see Jamie Hayter thrown against Mercedes Moné right now. It's like, so he's got to find something for her until he feels like she's ready to go back into the title picture, either TBS or women's championship.
Yeah, I don't know. have her and Deanna.
You can't waste too much. She's so popular. She's popular. You can't don't keep wasting her time.
Right. Like, she's way too over. To not do that. So I don't know. Hey, Deonna Purrazzo, she's not doing nothing.
Apparently, Deonna Purrazzo, it feels like she's trying to like do something, like form some kind of group. She's got Taya Valkyrie, so I've heard rumors that she might be assembling some kind of like women's heel stable.
Good.
Which, hey, if it's better, if it works out better than the Outcast, I'm all for it.
Right, because that did not work. All right, let's move on to NXT.
Yes, please. Because oh boy, that ending.
Yeah.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT. The final show on the USA Network before they moved to CW next week. Did a lot of staged press conference stuff during the show, having various stars interviewed ahead of their title matches and other matches next week. We opened with NXT North American Women's Title match, Kalani Jordan defending against Ren Sinclair. Kalani Jordan picked up the victory. Ethan Page was interviewed at the press conference ahead of his title match with Trick next week. So he's not worried about CM Punk being the special guest referee. Trick and Punk talked in the back. Punk said he likes him and is rooting for him, but he's going to call the middle and expects Trick to win clean. And they shook hands. Down Under hosted the Grayson Waller Effect with NXT Tag Team Champions Axiom and A3 as their guests. Trash talk between both teams ensued, and the heels attacked and laid out the champs to close out the segment. Lexington and Oro Mensah talked about both losing their fathers, doing a kind of little weird bonding, and agreed that they're best man win between their match tonight. Hank Walker and Tank Ledger took on the Good Brothers, and Hank and Tank pulled off the upset victory over the Good Brothers. Javon told Cedric he's ready to face Randy Orton in 2 weeks. A-Town Down Under came in and seemed to be mocking him, which led to a challenge between the two teams for a match later in the show. Then we had Lexis King taking on Oro Mensah. Interesting development in this feud where Lex King stopped himself from trying to cheat to win with foot on the ropes, tried to win clean, but Oro Mensah turned things around, and he ended up cheating to win using putting his foot on the ropes to pick up the victory, much to Lex King's shock. Then we had Tony D'Angelo and family doing a Rocky-style training montage to get Tony D ready for his rematch with Oba Femi in 2 weeks for the North American title. I liked it as a Rocky fan. Then we had Ridge Holland taking on Riley Osborne of Chase U. Ridge picked up the victory, but afterwards, when he tried to destroy Osborne like he did Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, Riley was able to fight back, and the two continued to brawl until separated by security. The Miz announced that his guests on Miz TV would be Oba Femi and Tony D'Angelo, where they would sign their contract for their title match. At the press conference, Oba Femi says he isn't worried about Tony D'Angelo at all. Wesley and Zachary Wentz tried to have a sit-down interview, but Wesley kept getting under his skin and brought up Zachary Wentz's real-life fiance, NXT star Gigi Dolan, which pissed him off, and the two led to get into another brawl. They'll be facing off in a street fight on next week's episode. They showed a special video package looking back at NXT's time on USA Network. Very nice. Ava booked Fatal Influence against Lil Vice and Jada Parker for next week's episode on the CW, despite Lil Vice and Jada Parker not wanting to work with each other. Rosemary Wendy Chu took on Carmen Petrovic and Brinley Reese. Carmen Petrovic was distracted by Shantae Adonis coming out to hit on him, which allowed the heels to beat Brinley Reese to pick up the victory. Fatal Influence was at the press conference, but Lil Vice and Jada Parker barged in and had a war of words with the heels. Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans took on A-Town Down Under. Despite Axiom and A3 coming out to get their hands on A-Town Down Under, the heels were still able to pick up the victory, with Javon taking the pinfall. Trick talked about that he is important to become a two-time NXT champion and plans on winning next week. And then we got to the end segment where we had a face-off between Roxanne Perez and Julia ahead of their NXT Women's title match on next week's show on the CW debut. Fudaki was once again translating for Julia, and Brian Saxon was the moderator. The two went back and forth. He translated a lengthy Japanese answer for Julia, but later Julia switched to English to talk directly to Roxanne. Roxanne thinks Julia's being a little too cocky, thinking that she's going to win, but Julia says that she respects Roxanne, and she's great, but it's time for her to pass the torch to her and a new generation when she beats her for the title next week. As they were going back and forth, all of a sudden another voice piped in, speaking Spanish, and the crowd went nuts when it was revealed it was none other than Stephanie Vaquer on the Titantron. Said she had a question for Julia and Roxanne. What are they going to do when whoever wins their title match next week has to deal with her coming after the winner and the NXT Championship? So much to Julia and Roxanne's surprise, Julia and Roxanne another stare down in the ring as you saw Stephanie Vaquer on the Titantron in the background between the two of them in a great shot to close out the show. That's all that happened on this week's episode of NXT.
That's fun stuff. I don't like that she appeared. I was
surprised they did that.
Yeah, I didn't like it because I think it just took away. It diminished a little bit of the segment, and then also it diminished of kind of me just looking forward to these two just going at it, because now I'm thinking in the back of my mind, okay, what's Stephanie going to do?
Yeah, I get that. I still like the segment. It was a cool surprise, but
I mean, yes, great segment because Roxanne's in it, but that's beside the point. Go forward.
No, like, I was surprised they did this. I mean, I think the difference between her doing this versus like Julia's debut was Julia's was never officially announced. It was assumed, it was reported, whereas they made a big deal of Stephanie Vaquer joining. It's like, so you knew Stephanie was coming a little more than Julia for like 100%. But I'm surprised that they did that. I get that. It probably maybe takes a little bit away because now it's like, okay, what the hell is going to happen next week? It's like, because it's like, is there going to be some kind of like screwy finish? We're not going to have a clear winner, and we're going to have like a triple threat between all three ladies at Halloween Havoc. Maybe, I don't know. The one thing I like is that it adds a lot of intrigue. Where I don't know what's going to happen.
Nope. So you were correct there. Because it's now we've got another wrinkle in this.
Yeah, Stephanie finally showing up before their match and basically saying, "Yo," it's like, I got next. It's like, okay, now what?
Mm-hmm.
But your criticisms, concerns are valid. I still ended up liking it because it was out of nowhere. At first, I was like, who's speaking? And like the crowd was like, oh. And then when I listened carefully and I realized, I was like, that I don't speak Spanish, but I know that's Spanish. I was like, and then I was like, oh shit, is it Stephanie? And then like the fans went nuts before they moved. They showed her on the Tron, so that was just like, I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. It's like, it was a really cool moment. Also, what I loved is the reaction not only from Roxanne, but also did you see Julia's face?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know that Vic and them will bring it up. It's like we've talked about before. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer got history. Stephanie beat her for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship at the beginning earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephanie's beaten Julia in the ring. So that look on Julia's face was just like shock.
Yeah. And then I liked Roxanne's reaction where she's just like, she's looking up at Stephanie, and then she looks over at Julia. She looks up at Stephanie, and you can just tell she's like, I fucked up.
No, it's like it means Roxanne is like even in like it's like she's between a rock and a hard place right now. This is what I was talking about. It's like it's like first Julia shows up. Now Stephanie has made her intentions known. So she's got two of the best women's wrestlers on the planet gunning for her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, which is great for her because she gets to show off how awesome she is.
Yeah, exactly. You have to see just how great she is.
Right. So the question is, so either it's like there's only two results I see that happening next week when it comes to Julia Roxanne. Either Julia's going to win and we move to Julia Stephanie, but where does that leave Roxanne is the problem until they decide to move her up to the main roster, which I assume would happen after the Rumble. Or there's not a clean finish because of Stephanie or some other shenanigans, maybe Cora Jade, who knows?
That's what I was getting ready to say. I was going to let you kind of finish what your thought was, but I was I just want Cora to be involved in this somehow.
And then because there's no clear winner, you have the three of them do a triple threat at Halloween Havoc later in the month.
Yeah. That'd probably be the best way to do it.
It would be, honestly, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I'd be good with it.
It's because, and then either Julia or Stephanie's going to win the title in that match. And then you go from there. And then have Julia and Stephanie renew their rivalry from New Japan.
Yeah. I just need Cora involved just because that's as much as I love seeing Roxanne go against everyone. I just want that blood feud between her and Cora.
You want that closure for their storyline before they go to the main roster. Because Roxanne's going to be going for her because Cora's going to be in NXT for because she's missed a whole year.
Right.
If she hadn't missed this year, she probably would be heading up to the main roster with Roxanne come beginning next year.
Correct. Correct.
Well, because she's been out for almost getting close to a year, she got hurt in it was December, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So they got to give her some time in NXT. Hopefully get a title run, and plus, why not have her work with Julia and Stephanie Becker? I mean, come on.
Why not? It's only gonna just rock the whole time. So yeah.
Having both, but it's this is why I've been so excited for this. It's like, so obviously the visa issues have been cleared up, or else she would not have shown up.
Right.
The fact that they had her show up means she's about ready to show up in the flesh. Mm-hmm. And I think also it helps generate buzz about what happens next week. Is Stephanie going to be there next week in person?
You would think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just fun stuff. It just, like I said, just a little nitpicky with me.
And your concerns are totally valid. But looking toward the future, this is what I've been waiting for. It's like Julia's here. Stephanie's here too. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, like Wolverine. Yeah,
like in Deadpool Wolverine. It's like, let's fucking go.
That's a great segue because my two things that I'm looking forward to so much right now is definitely my Rascals going against each other. That's just every little segment's been amazing.
Yes,
they've delivered. Again, this is the Jimmy and Jay we were hoping for. This is what we were wanting.
And the fact that they added some more realism by him bringing in Gigi, aka Gigi Dolan. It's like, I totally forgot that Gigi and Zachary have been dating for quite some time. I think, are they engaged?
I don't know. I have yet I haven't seen Sean Ross Sapp confirm that, so I don't know if it's right or not.
But the fact he brought her in, it's like, and Gigi's been out injured, unfortunately, for the last couple months with a knee injury. So that was very interesting. And that added more fuel to the fire between the two of them. So yeah, I'm looking for that match, that street fight between them next week. That should be it. This show is like just absolutely insanely loaded. I mean, you've got Trick, Ethan Page title match with CM Punk as special guest referee. Julia versus Roxanne, street fight as the Rascals explode, like Mega Power style. And then you got Jada Parker and Lil Vice, who don't get along, having to try to work together against Fatal Influence.
Right.
So
And
we
then,
got some great matches lined up for next week's.
I'm
debut
actually
episode of
really
AEW.
excited to see Fraxium against A-Town Down Under. I think that's going to be fun
that
as hell.
that match in 2 weeks in Chicago. I think that's going to be a banger.
I think that's going to be fun as hell. And yeah, I think, can we just stop with the, are they going to break up? Because they're just too good.
No, I don't. I think they're going to be fun.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if they both go up the main roster together because dear God, the tag division can use them.
Yes, they can. They're getting the Lucha Brothers eventually. And plus, if well,
Oh my God, them against the Lucha Brothers. Holy fuck.
them against the Motor City Machine Guns, that we're going to get that.
That's the other thing. Do you think those Motor City Machine Guns might show up next week too?
I don't know.
Or they might show up. Maybe they show up in St. Louis after they beat A-Town Down Under.
I think they might show up in St. Louis. I think they might do that with that. So yeah, it's fun stuff there. Anything else you want to move on to? Because those are like the three things that I really enjoyed. Was obviously the segment between anytime Roxanne's, I'm going to enjoy it. But Wesley, obviously, I'm well ingrained in the Rascal stuff, and then Fraxium has won me over. And then A-Town Down Under is just fun. So any
I know
other...
some people felt a little. I saw some people comment they felt it was a little awkward with having Funaki do some translation, but it makes sense. That was a very lengthy response, so she felt more comfortable saying it in Japanese and then let Funaki translate. But like short form sentences, she's comfortable doing those in English, and and so I like that. She's definitely having a fun time. I follow her on Twitter. She's posting stuff like that she like posts about like that she had like she went to this like Mexican restaurant and was like had the guys performing around her, and she literally liked that. It's like
yeah, I know. I liked it. Anytime Funaki's on television, I smile. So,
yeah, no, I was really happy that Funaki returned as Julia's translator.
He's SmackDown's number one.
Yeah, SmackDown number one announcer.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't go back to the. It doesn't hold any weight of Kai and Tai when they had Shane McMahon.
Yeah. Also, Stephanie McCurry spoke pretty good English too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've heard Stephanie talk before. She's gonna be fine.
Yeah. No, and plus also that final shot, dude, with Roxanne and on one side, Julia on the other, and in the background there's Stephanie McCurry. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that is now the holy trinity of the NXT Women's Division right now. Yep. They're the holy trinity.
until you get that's the holy trinity, and then when Core comes back, you're gonna have the four horsemen of the apocalypse going against each other, basically. If we want to stay with the biblical references.
Yeah.
With that, so
and also, let's say that's a preview of the future of the women's division on the main roster because those three women right there.
Yeah.
And within the next couple of years, those three are going to cook on the main roster.
Yes, they will. All right. I want you to tell me how you're supposed to book Lexis King because they can't seem to figure it out.
Okay. I actually liked where they're going with this. Now it has my attention. I wasn't into this feud, but them talking about their fathers and then the odd twist where Lexis King decides to not try to cheat to win, but Oro Mensah does. So I'm like, okay, you got my attention. Where's this going to lead now? It's like, are they trying to turn Lexis King face?
Again, you have to do something different because it just
it's like I agree, and it's like it's. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in where this is going. Okay, it's like I'm not bored.
Right.
Are you worried about the Good Brothers jobbing to Hanky Tank so easily?
They're trying to get Hagen Tank into being superstars because they're still little. Rocky.
That's what I felt like it is. They're trying to help get them over as a legit tag team.
Yeah, because they're back. The Hanky Tank backstage stuff's pretty funny, but them in the ring is still green.
Yeah,
and so that's why I'm like, at this point, that's what the Good Brothers are doing. You can, and if the Good Brothers show up and team up with AJ Styles again, they're not losing. The Good Brothers can't. They got to the certain point where they're going to be over when they team up with AJ. They're always going to be looked at as a threat, and if they're not, and they win the titles, people are still not going to be surprised about it. So I don't know if you can bury the Good Brothers to the point where they're not.
I don't think so either.
They're at that.
I think I'd ask because I know you love the Good Brothers.
I do.
So it's like.
I do.
So that's why I wanted to ask.
They're just hilarious. They're talking shop. It's not for everyone, but most of their talking shop stuff's it's just hilarious.
One of my other favorite things I love this episode was Tony D'Angelo doing the Rocky training montage. The only thing missing was like Eye of the Tiger or like.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like you called it. It reminded you of Rocky 3 last week, and now we get a Rocky montage. It's all and they're Italian. Oh my god!
I was like, they're doing a Rocky training montage. It's like the only thing missing was the right music.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, they even had Stax lift a line from Rocky 4. He's not a machine. He's a man. I'm like, oh my god, they're literally ripping Rocky off here.
And I know you're marking out because you love.
I love the Rocky franchise. I'm all for it because it works within the storyline. Obafemi is a monster. Obafemi is like the Club Lang Ivan Drago. He looks like the unstoppable wrecking machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't. I'm too afraid.
The reason them doing this, I believe Tony's going to win the title from him now.
Yeah, I really do too. I think they don't just the way it's going. And like I said, I'm buying into. Ever since he started feuding with Oba, it's a different level, and that's also credit to Oba because Oba doesn't need to be in NXT. Like he honestly doesn't. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he just shows up and flattens out Braun Strowman.
He's not going to be on the main roster by WrestleMania time.
Yeah,
in Vegas.
He's just because his mic work is great. He can easily get the crowd behind him. It's not the what chant or whatever he does. Yeah. But then he got this next level of just I'm better.
He's
than
got
you.
that presence about him.
Yeah,
and he speaks well too.
Yeah, it's just the way his delivery is just really good.
It's scary how good he's gotten already, and it's like he's just started.
Speaking about just starting, and
I believe that they're gonna. It's like they're taking it out right out of the Rocket League playbook. He lost the title match. He's doubting himself. He's going through the training regimen to get ready for the rematch. And it's like right out of the Rocky 3 playbook. So it's like I love it.
Right. Speaking about really getting really good really fast, even though she lost, but what Ren Sinclair has been doing.
Ren Sinclair, that was the best she's looked on so far. That was one of Kalani's best matches in a while too. I felt.
Yeah.
I really liked what I saw from Ren Sinclair. I really like putting her in the North Dakota Catch Crew has been beyond beneficial.
Both of them, both parties.
Both parties. It's helped make the North Dakota Catch Crew more interesting. It's given them more stuff to work with character wise, and it's built up her character as well. So it's like
yeah. And then plus having help me out. Who went to Noah?
Tavion Heights. And so when he came back, but because of what he was doing with Noah, it built him up. Yep.
So it's like, wow. But again, you have to keep up with everything. So when he came back, I popped because I was like, yeah, he's been.
Now we got Tavion and Miles are going into the tag team division.
Right.
Which I'm all for.
Right. I don't know what they're supposed to do with Ridge. I'm kind of over it.
They can't drag it out for too much longer. It's like Duke Hudson and Andre Chase should probably be back soon. Don't drag it out too long. I
just want Thea Hale to turn and just her and Rid do stuff. Kind of. She won't, but
I don't know if Gift Taylor could handle a Thea Hale heel turn.
She's 21 now, Giff. It's time. She was too young. There's no reason to send her to the darkness yet. She's mature enough now.
I'm liking Jada Parker and Lola Vice worn with Fatal Influence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, it's the classic of two baby faces can't get along, but it works because their personalities don't match.
No,
it's like they're both of them are used to being the top, wanting to be the top dog. So it's like, and and they're both very their personalities are very independent. It's like it makes total sense that they would not get along, but it's like we'll see if they can do it against Fatal Influence.
Right. I mean,
it'll be interesting to see which two members of Fatal Influence, because like there's 3 of them, so they get to choose which 2 are gonna do the tag match against them next week. So,
right. And what you can do is you can just have this crazy vignette between the 2 of them, and then like one comes out. Let's just say they went to like the Florida Panthers hockey rink, and then one comes out on a Zamboni, and the other 3 come out to like sled dogs, bring them out, and then they have this face to face, and it's like a really cool cinematic thing of how can they coexist? Are you sure you have my back? Yes. We've never seen that before, but I would swear to you it's going to work.
Yeah.
That's just my little really bad joke about them ripping off Cody Rhodes and Roman because we're having the same.
I like the stuff with Punk talking to both Trick and Ethan Page, making it clear, there's no bias in here. It's like, I'm going to make sure you both play clean. It's like, there's also I've seen Punk talking to some of the other talent, like Javon or Sol Ruka. Speaking of Sol Ruka, shout out to her. She showed up on TNA tonight, apparently, to back up Jordan Grace against the heels. So, and apparently they set up like a 6-woman tag where it's like they're gonna be teaming again next week, apparently. And also great news, Joe Hendry defeated Kazarian. He's going to face Nemeth for the TNA title at the pay-per-view.
And he's also still trolling.
Put the belt on him. Put the belt on him, TNA.
Yeah. But he's also been trolling Ethan Page online. Yep, still trolling it. He's great. He's the best.
Yep. So it's going to be Joe Hendry versus Nick Nemeth for a TNA championship at Bound for Glory.
Nice. But yeah, what was it?
Jordan Grace is going to team up with Sol Ruka and Masha against Wendy Chu, Rosemary, and Tasha on next week's episode of Impact.
That was the last thing I was going to get to was the tag match. Tag match was whatever. I didn't really care how they did the finish. I thought that was kind of
that was one of the low points.
But I really like Rosemary's finisher. I think it's like fits her.
No. Oh, I thought you meant the other one. The one with where Carmen Petrovic and her friend lost because she got distracted by a shot.
That's what I'm saying. But Rosemary's actual finish move, that's what I'm saying. I really like.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the fact that just Adonis comes out and she just walks all the way out, and and that took way too freaking long. So. But
I like this evil pairing between Wendy and Rosemary. They're fun together.
Mm-hmm. You get the mouthpiece, and you got Wendy being Wendy, so she doesn't have to talk.
And Lei Ying Lee used to be Xia Li in WWE. Also debuted on Impact tonight.
She did. So yeah,
I wish her the best.
Good. Congratulations, TNA and NXT. This pairing has made me watch you more and keep up with it. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, forget Stephanie. She's here.
That's what I'm most excited about. It's like Stephanie's finally here as well. It's like the NXT Women's Tag Division is gone up several notches with Julia and Stephanie McCurry finally being here. Right. God, some of the matches that we're going to potentially get over the next couple months is going to be insane. Not just between Stephanie and Julia, but I mean, throw any of the other talented ladies against either Stephanie or Julia, or it's like the NXT Women's Division is going to be we're cooking on a ridiculous level for a while.
We're boiling. That's how much we're cooking. So I think that about wraps it up for us. Another episode of Ruckus.
I'm excited for the CW debut next week to see what happens.
CW debut, and then after that, you have us two beautiful peoples going live reacting to Bad Blood.
Yeah, I'm excited for next week between the CW debut and us doing the Bad Blood watch along.
All right, and the pre-show is going to be Justin doing a stern monologue on why the Hell in the Cell is not the main event. But we're saving it for later, folks. You got to tune in to see.
Yeah, there's the rumors that they might have Cody Roman versus the Bloodline be the main event, and I'm like, please no. Give my boy CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, give them the fucking main event, please, for the love of God.
But that's no here, no there. We still
Yeah.
don't know that is
We don't
written in
know
stone.
yet.
But even if it was, I'm holding Justin back. I'm holding him back. I know that's for the pre-show. So if anything, thank you all so much for joining us. GIF joining us in the comments as always. Always a pleasure chatting some wrestling with you. But then join us next week as we break down everything that is, was, and will be in the world of wrestling. All the other shows that we've got going on. Mondays, you see myself and Tushka breaking down fantasy football and all the stats and why certain players are disappointing you. Come in and ask what you should do as far as roster moves are concerned. We love getting your all's questions and helping you all out in way we possibly can. On Tuesdays, we got me and my buddies playing a bunch of middle-aged dudes playing a D&D based video game together and arguing. Okay, like it's 2002. And then next on Wednesdays, we have myself, Sol, and Tushka wrapping up the week that was in all of sports. We do go over football, and we're getting to playoff baseball. Justin's starting to get nervous because his Yankees actually now have to put up now. They got there. They're having really good, but they got to put up. They haven't done crap in the playoffs.
I'm more happy now because they just finally destroyed the Orioles tonight, secured the AL East title, and a bye into the second round of the playoffs. All that's left is they have to win two their last 3 games to get the number 1 seed instead of Cleveland. Cleveland will end up being number 2. It's between the Yankees and Cleveland for they're both getting the bye. It's just a matter of who's going to be number 1 and number 2 seed, who gets the home field throughout the playoffs. Thankfully, the Yankees are playing the Pirates, who suck. So odds are good they're going to get the number 1 seed, which is really important. So I'm feeling much better about it. It's like the last 2 nights they were having trouble with the Orioles, and I was getting pissed off. So
right. I was really having a good time. Of course, I'm a Reds fan, which means I'm excited for the baseball season. And then the first pitch happens, and then I know I'm just going to be disappointed. And it's self-torture basically. I was a Braves fan, and then I ended up going to and hanging out with a bunch of buddies who were Cincinnati fans, and I didn't care about baseball really. So next thing I know, I'm going to see all these Reds games and stuff like that. And hey, I'm a Cincinnati fan, so it happens sometimes.
And one final thing, all the people out there down in Florida and in Georgia in the path of the hurricane, hope you all stay safe. It's looking pretty ugly down there.
Yeah, it's looking pretty ugly. So yes, you all stay safe down there. And also, thank you. And Justin, it's always a pleasure doing this with you every week. And then I'm looking forward, like you said, NXT on CW, what we're going to get with Roman and Cody going forward with that, how we're going to finally get the Bloodline Survivor Series, because that's what I'm intrigued with. Yeah. But let us know down in the comments what's in the world of wrestling. What are you most looking forward to? It can be actually 2 women's matches on Dynamite. I mean, they haven't never done that. So we can do that there, but just tell us, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Join on the rocket ship if you want to join us and do this thing called YouTube. Join us over the Patreon, patreon.com/RuckusTV, and we will help you get a show going and get you going in the YouTube spaces. But on myself and Justin, thank you all so much, and we will see you all next time.